dictionaries are there: Sanskrit, Malayalam dictionary, English, Malayalam dictionary, Hindi dictionary, Urdu dictionary. A few dictionaries are there, which I still refer instead of googling.
Can you tell us why in our westernized world people should read mythological books?
First thing, it is not a westernized world. Our culture has been alive, it has withstood invasions, it has withstood so many regime changes. This is just a phase, what we are going through. It is language neutral because all these stories have been written in all Indian languages, written and rewritten again and again. So I don't think it's a westernized world, that is first thing. Or if at all it was a westernized world in the last century, it is going to be India's century which is coming now. And all these stories which have been told for so many times over the last 3,000 or 4,000 years, they have been relevant in every time they have been retold. They are relevant now and they will remain relevant in the future also. So,
Lovely. Can you tell us why you choose Damayanti to be the hero of the story?
usually the Nala Damayanti tale is often told from the perspective of Nala. It's a tale of separation and it's a tale of great sentimentality the pangs of separation is described. But this is a retelling for the today's world, for today's youth. So I have written it from the perspective of Damayanti, and it is she who is saving Nala along with her friend Hemanga, the golden swan, who is the messenger of love. So it's a tale of more fun, frolic and romance rather than a cautionary tale about fate and the people caught in the pangs of separation and in the claws of fate. It is not that tale at all. This is a very positive spin meant for the modern day, but it's an age-old tale told for today's youth. So it's a rom-com based on Damayanti saving Nala. Hence the tale is from Damayanti.
Do you think mythological books still hold their magic?
They always have held the magic. No? The Purana-based books, they are relevant because they cover all kind of human emotions and they give lot of values and morals on which the entire civilization of Asia, not just India, is based upon. So they are actually language neutral, religion neutral, they are universal books and they are also time neutral. So they always hold relevance, and we have seen it how even it is influencing the modern day filmmaking, the modern day books in English or in any other language. So it keeps reinventing itself and it will always remain relevant.
What books would you recommend reading to someone who wants to write mythology?
If you are trying to write Purana based books, there are lots you have to read and there are lots of oral history. But there is one book which I will recommend for people for reference. This was originally in Malayalam 100 years ago, but Motilal Banarsidas has come up with the English version. So this book is like the encyclopedia of the entire Puranic world. Vettam Manis, it was written 100 years ago, almost 100 years ago. So alphabetical order, everything is written. Like a character, say, just for I am randomly taking here, you just take a character, it will say Gatra. Randomly say a Maharshi, the son of Vasishta, who had by Urja 7 rishis called Rajas, Gatra, Urdabahu, Shavana, Alagu, Sukra and Sutapas. The reference is from Agri Purana chapter 20. So it gives a reference which chapter to look at so that every character alphabetically you can get it.
What books should someone read who wants to be really skilled in the craft of writing?
There are lots of books on writing, but two things which come to my mind. One is Stephen King's On Writing, then Bird by Bird by Anand Neelakantan, I think. These are the two books immediately which comes.
What inspired you to be a writer of mythology?
See, Puranas are something which I grew up with. All the Puranas, Itihasas, I grew up with that. And I grew up in a town which has a lot of cultural and art and dance significance. There's a very ancient music school, Sanskrit school there. Lot of temples, so all the temples have this temple arts like Kathakali, Mohiniyattam, Nangyarkooth. Various kind of temple art forms which are at least 400, 500 years old. Some like Kudiyattam and all are around 2000 years old, still perform. Sanskrit theatre, Malayalam theatre. So I come from that background. So naturally, when I started writing, it was based on what I knew, at least a bit.
Can you show us around your home library?
This is actually a very small part of my library. Half of my books are scattered at various places. But just to have a look, I have a few of the classics here, with which I started the English reading. A lot of Malayalam books. Basically, there are some reference book on screenplay, like Sid Field's screenplay, Screenwriter's Bible. This I use for my screenplay. I am a big fan of Bill Bryson, so some of the Bill Bryson's books are there for non-fiction writing. And I have, like, this is Mahabharata in Malayalam, all the 6 version, and here is an index for Mahabharata. So in case it's in Malayalam, of course, it's an index for Mahabharata. So every character, in which parva it comes, I can easily check it from there. On which book, which parva it is there. This is just one version of Mahabharata. I have other collections in my other places where I have my library, and my books are scattered here and there. Then I have the lores and legends of Kerala, the folktale collection, a few of them. I have at least around 100 books on folklore. Only 1 or 2 I kept here. Then some travelogues are there. I like to read travelogues. P.G. Woodhouse is there. Then the entire Amar Chitragatha collection is there, which I like, children's book. Then other classics like that of Basa and Kalidasa, both in English and Malayalam. Some books of poetry in Sanskrit, English and Malayalam are there. And this is that encyclopedia which I had shown. That's original Malayalam version of it. I think some dictionaries are there, Sanskrit, Malayalam dictionary, English, Malayalam dictionary, Hindi dictionary, Urdu dictionary, a few dictionaries are there, which I still refer instead of Googling, because that gives me, it helps me to get new words actually. Because Google, you specifically go to that word and you get it. But when you are searching a physical dictionary, suddenly I stumble upon good words which I store, and it helps me to write it. When I am writing, it helps me the vocabulary. Because English is a language which I came very late. So I am still in the learning phase of having a good English vocabulary. Hindi I came much later. So though I write films and TV shows on all these things, it's just a learning process.